I'm Grandpa Eugene Weiss, and in November I'll be 80 years old. I'm married to a very lovely Bobby, who is Bobby Weiss. Roberta is my wife. I've been married 57 years to Roberta, and I'm blessed to have 4 children: Michael, Brad, Scott, and Dana. And through Michael, Brad, Scott, and Dana, I have, this is going to be tough, but we're going to work. I got 8 grandchildren. I got Matthew with Brad, and I got, with Michael, I got Sam and Lissa, twins. They're about 20 years old, this picture. And with Brad, there's Matt with Brad. And then there's Scotty, who has Lexi and Kobe, and they're arrived. And then with Dana, I got Jake and Rachel. So, and then we gotta find one more, Alyssa, Lexi.
Allison.
And Allison, the baby of all of them is Allison, I guess. Matt, Jake. Sam, Alyssa, I got Jake, I got Rachel, I got Lexi, I got Kobe, Allison, and I got a whole crew. But I've been very blessed to have 4 beautiful children, 8 grandchildren, and a lovely wife who's put up with me for all these years, Roberta. Bobby's her nickname. And I've been very involved. I've done everything. I've started off working at the Jewish Center as when I graduated from Ohio State University. I went to work at the Jewish Center as an athletic director in Columbus, and had a good reputation just in making enough money to support a family. So I gave up what I loved, basically teaching, to go into the car wash business to earn a living so I could support my family. And I went from there back into the fitness business, selling fitness equipment, designing fitness center, running a fitness club, running sports camps, and just kept myself involved with the things I enjoyed doing. I was very lucky that I had a wife and kids to put up with me, because I gave up making more money to go into something that I really wanted to do, and it worked out really well. I participated in sports all my life. I played football in high school, and I wrestled in high school, and I ran track in high school, and did well enough to be captain of the Ohio State. Captain of the Shaker football team. I was captain of the Shaker wrestling team, and captain of the Ohio State wrestling team. Went on to Ohio State, finished 4 years of college, and got my degree in education. And I've done a little bit of everything, trying to put up with the kids. I think wrestling did the most for me as far as sports, because I went to the Maccabee Games. I went to Israel. I traveled the whole world because of wrestling. And started a wrestling camp where I ended up with 7,200 kids going through my camp in the years that I had the camp. 7,200, is that unbelievable? And participated in all the business, had a farm out in Chardon, where I'd go back and forth from the Rocky River at the car wash. I'd go from Rocky River to Chardon and make that trip almost every day. I'd go to work early in the morning, come home late at night. And it turned out to be very, very good. I coached the United States team in the World Maccabee Games and participated, and literally biggest thing was enjoying was my children, watching Michael and Brad and Scott in wrestling, and Dana in gymnastics. And I'd been happy either working or going to watching their sporting events, and we had a sporting family all the way through. And then I was lucky enough to have the kids got married, they got grandchildren. Matthew, who played tennis, who played all kinds of sports. I got Sam and Lissa, they're in Florida right now, and doing everything. And Rachel and Jake Jake is playing lacrosse, and I go to all his lacrosse games, and Rachel is playing volleyball, and just seems like I keep busy with the grandkids. That's something everybody dreams about, is being able to enjoy your life, enjoy your work, and enjoy your grandchildren. I just can't believe how fast the years are going, and I've done a little bit of everything you could think of I've done. And Bobby has been a great wife and a great grandmother, because her whole life is the children too, and that's basically what we go to till. We know that we're eventually the knees and the backs and the heads give up. They give out, but we keep going. What's the best thing I could say? I was brought up in a family where my mother and father were exactly the same. They cared about us and the children and the grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and it's been a big family affair. We've done a lot. My dad was so busy working, all he did was try to work for the kids, and he never came in my sporting events. They had one football game he came to, and it was a Father's Day. I think I got knocked out in the first quarter, and I was laying on the sideline, and I have a picture in the yearbook of him walking over and said, "I come to watch you play football. I come to watch you lay down." So I got up and I continued the game, and that was the only football game he ever went to that I know. And then I was wrestling for the state tournament. I won a state championship, and I never saw my dad in a wrestling match, and I was just looked up as I raised my hand that I won it, and looked up and I saw my dad up in the stands. And before they could raise my hand, I ran up into the stands and was hugging him after I won the tournament. And that was probably the only wrestling match he went to. And but he was always looking for something to do work-wise, and that was about it. We never played ball, we never did anything, but there was a lot of love and affection there. And I could come home anytime, and there'd always be food on the table or food waiting for me or any friend that I brought with me. If I brought somebody in from Columbus, my mother, it could be 12 o'clock at night, she'd make us dinner. And I was very lucky to have that kind of family. And all the grandkids growing up, and pretty soon it'll be great grandkids, I guess. So that's how you raise a family and keep things going. I'm trying to think of things I did, like I got a job in Columbus Jewish Center, and then when I got the job working at the car wash, then I ended up owning a car wash, and then wrestling camps. And
how did the car wash? How did D Clean get started?
D Clean got started because Al Paul was my Uncle Paul, the car wash on the west side, and Earl worked for him, and then he had the opportunity to buy a place on the west side, and we didn't want to compete with my Uncle Paul on the east side of Cleveland, so we went to the west side, and Earl had a car wash, Detroit Auto Wash, and then they called me, asked me if I'd come to Cleveland to go to work for them, and I was making $4,300 a year with a wife and child in Columbus, and I gave up what I loved, really loved, to go to work at the car wash, because he offered me $10,000 a year to manage the car wash. And before I know it, we were partners in the car wash, Earl, I, and Lenny. And then most people tell you, your dad puts you in business, your dad did this. We took our dad out of the fruit store, a little tiny fruit store, and Earl and I took him on the fruit store from to work with us on the car wash. And everybody would come up to me and say, "Your dad gave you good business." And we say, yep. Actually, Earl got us started on that. And then there was Earl, and there was myself and Lenny, and we put our dad in business with us. It was great. You take the bus, and you take the bus for an hour drive to the west side, to the Rocky River, and was always got to get on the bus. The bus was the bus, but the name was the bus. And he'd make sure he had candy or something for the bus driver, so the guy let him on a bus. Those were good days. I think what I got to do is I got to really go through and tell stories about my wife and my brothers, parents that we loved and respected. It's a different world then than it is today. Language is different, everything is different, but we grew up, all of us, and my two brothers, Earl and Winnie, and my dad, Herschel Harry. All he did was work, and my mother, Celia, made sure there was a meal on the table for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and got to do a little bit of traveling. Where we brought up, my dad worked hard to make a living so that we could all eat. And we had a house, but we didn't care about the other things that everybody talked about. Their money don't mean anything. And
talk about your dad, how he didn't speak any English in the beginning. When your dad came over here, how he didn't speak any English. Explain the story.
Well, it was very difficult. I mean, my dad came from the old country. He was born over there, and
the old country.
My mother, they call it the old country.
Where is it?
Europe and Poland, Austria, and they were taught to raise a family and to make sure that we ate well, and we all worked hard. We all had jobs from every age, all had money put away. Any bit of money that I made that I gave to my mother when I graduated college was given back to me. It was being saved so I could buy a home, and I had my own home I got married and I bought a house. It was from the money that I made all through junior high school, all through high school, and it was there. And spent time teaching the kids to have good manners and have sports. And what then I do? I've done everything. As far as business goes, first I was the athletic director of the Columbus Jewish Center.
No, first you used to with the pop cans and stuff, and Earl in the yard bending the fence.
Oh yeah, but actually as a family man, I got married. But you're right. We worked on the yard on weights, and we played all sports in elementary school. And then we worked. If I had a ball game and I was playing at 6 o'clock, my dad would say, "Be home, cut the grass." I was home. I brought up respect for our parents, and we had a lot of love and a lot of respect for our brothers, and it was a family. Everything was family. My grandparents, they couldn't go in town or out of town without calling them. My Bubby Weiss, when I'd go on a wrestling mat, he used to say, "Go with the rechte foot to the rechte arm," which means go step on the mat with the right foot, right arm, and go get them. And I used to tell her before every wrestling match to get her luck. And before every football game, I called my grandparents and the Blooms. God, they would bring me on Saturday. Of course, they didn't work. They'd bring me a piece of chocolate, and they'd come over to the house with a knife and a piece of chocolate and cut the chocolate up. We'd all have a little piece of chocolate. I think the thing that kept me going most was having my older brother Earl above me and Lenny below me. And we were known as the Weiss brothers in every business, and everybody was afraid of me because of my brother Earl. He was so tough. And then we'd work at the stadium selling popcorn and candy and Coke and hot chocolate, everything at the Browns games. And I remember working on a bridge selling programs for the Indians game, and a couple of big guys kicked me off the bridge because that's where you make the money going across the bridge to the stadium. And they came in, told me they were going to take my programs away from me if I didn't get out of there. So I walked back to the stadium. I got my brother Earl. He was working at the Selling Bear. He came up. He beat the heck out of him, beat the crap out of him. And I worked on a bridge from then on. No one ever bothered me. No one came near me. But we were all always there for each other. Lenny was there, Earl was there. Everything I did was through them. And my wife was there to support me and all the habits I had. And then the kids, that's basically it. Sports was my main thing. Got me into college. Got me graduated from college because I would probably not gone to college if I had participated in these sports. I had a scholarship to Ohio State with everything paid for. My room, my board, my books. And I spent 4 years there. And just watch the kids grow up and watch everybody grow up is basically what I did. That was my enjoyment, to go watch wherever they're playing soccer, they're playing golf. I went to watch Matt when he wanted to play soccer and he didn't want to move. He would be at a soccer game, but he would run up and down the field. And then I watched him when he was playing varsity tennis for the high school, for the colleges, and very proud of him. Very proud. And I'm proud of Rachel with her volleyball. She made the team every year and was a participant in the good volleyball team. And then Jake, my little one, played football at Solon, and he gave him football. And he just stayed with lacrosse. He's captain of the lacrosse team there now. And they're doing great. Sam probably could have been a hell of an athlete. He just didn't have any kind of backing. The most important thing is that we kept the family together, and that's basically what we did. And that was Bobby and myself. We go to every event that we could, and if I wasn't working, I was at a sporting event.
Last one.
In high school, I was captain of the football team. I was captain of the wrestling team. I was a state champ, and I was all city in football. And basically, I played every sport. I wrestled Ohio State for 4 years and tournaments all over the world. Now I'm just content to be a grandfather, and a father, and a husband. And I'm happy that I'm here, and happy that I'm able to participate in things. I'm rehabilitating from a back surgery, from a stroke, and from rehabilitating for everything, knee surgery, everything. But I'm still going, and I'm here, and every morning I get up and I thank God that I made it another day. Two, three, four, five. My name is Gene Weiss, and I used to be Gene the Machine, and now I'm lucky if I can walk.